Hello and welcome to another live stream. So today I'm going to be talking about engaging content, how to create engaging content on social media. And I'm going to be giving you 9 top tips today. Some of my top tips tried and tested by clients and by myself. But these are some of the tips that really can make a difference between creating content that gets quite a lot of engagement compared with creating content that basically dies and you get nothing back. Okay, so let's make a start. So my first top tip for creating engaging content is 1, know your audience. Really, really important. So the most important thing is when you're creating social media content is understanding your audience. What do they want to see? And what are they interested in? The biggest mistake people make when they create content on social media is they put content on there that they want to sell. They put content on there that they want people to know about without thinking about who their target market is. As I always say, it's so important to have a small following that are absolutely passionate about your products rather than masses of people who aren't that interested. So it's really about understanding that niche. Who are they? Get into their heads, get into the heads of your customers. How exactly can you help them? How are you making their lives better? Therefore, create content that shows them the end result, how their lives are going to improve if they engage with your products and services. Okay? So you've got to step into the shoes of your potential customers and think about what would really interest them. Okay, you're never going to appeal to everybody, so it's much better to focus on those people that are more likely to be your customers and really focus on those guys. Okay, right. Now again, if you're watching live, please do give us a shout out and say hello. If you're on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up, and please do join the chat and tell me, let me know what content has created a lot of engagement on your page, because sometimes surprises do pop up with content. Sometimes you'd be like, oh, I wasn't expecting that, and then other times when you spend ages thinking about your content, thinking this is really going to be really engaging, and it absolutely falls flat on its face. So, we've all been there, we've all done it, and it is a little bit about trial and error. Okay, so please, do say hello in the chat and I'll give you a shout out, and do share your ideas and your experiences. Okay, so my second tip then, and this is one that if a lot of you watch my live streams on a regular basis, you will know this already. The biggest top tip is do not include links in your posts. The biggest way to kill engagement is putting links in your posts, whether it be on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you are, unless you're on Pinterest, slightly different. Pinterest love putting links in. But yes, if you are putting links on your post, that is the biggest way to kill engagement. If you put a link on a person's post, on your post, basically Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn identify you've put a link and you're trying to encourage people away from our website, away from their platform. So they don't like it and they won't share it to very many people. So that's the biggest way to reduce your engagement. So don't put links on there. Generally as well, if you're putting links on, it's kind of giving it the hard sell. So that's the second top tip. Oh, and hi Dorothy, thanks for saying hello. Hi Dot. Oh, and Nettie, she's watching on YouTube. Hi Nettie, thanks for saying hi. Again, please do share if you've got any posts that have done really well and got lots of comments. Please do share what they were, and I'll talk about it. Okay, so don't put links on. Okay, my third tip then is really about making it personable. Okay, making your content personable. One thing people forget when they're on social media is that it's about being sociable. So it's about really making it really making it personable. And that includes the language that you use in your content. So when you are putting that text to go with your image or whatever you've got, then really do try to use the first or second person when you're talking about it. So I use a lot of posts. So for example, when I launched my online Facebook course before Christmas, I didn't go, here you go, guys, come and buy it. I actually just did a little video of me pressing the live button and going, oh, I've done it. I've created my video. Oh my goodness, a real live video. Who would have believed it would take so long? And then, you know, make a video. Someone said it's dead easy. 12 months later, here we are. And someone told me it'd only take a week. So again, make it personable about your experiences. Or if you are talking about, you know, if you're directing at people and you want individuals, use that individual. So use, you know, talk to an individual when you're writing your posts. So are you thinking about doing X, Y, Z? You know, do you ever struggle with social media content? Would you like help? So again, really talk to that individual. The type of content that doesn't, generally speaking, do as well is when it's written in the third person, when it's written in, you know, he did this, she did that. You know, it's not personable enough. It's not direct. When people are scrolling, they want to feel like that post is talking to them as an individual, and they want to feel that connection with it. So it's really important about the language that you use. Oh, hi, Heather. Thanks for saying hello. Nice to see you. So again, yes, you think about the language you're using. First person and second person does work better. Okay. So my fourth tip to create engaging content is ask a question. Because what we're wanting people to comment below in your social media posts, to comment, to share them, to like them. But the best thing is those comments. That's what's going to create a post that has a higher reach if we're getting people commenting on it. So ask a question. Now, these questions, they can be quite vague, or they can be, you know, quite specific. But it's got to be questions that will resonate with your target audience. And again, I'll keep coming back to who your target audience is. So a couple of questions that I sort of looked on LinkedIn today. I was just quickly looking through the feed, and I looked at posts that were getting the most engagement. And again, you can do this. Have a look in your feed. Have a look to see what type of posts get you the most engagement. And the two posts that got the most engagement were those that asked questions. So the first one asked, do you like blogging or not? Now that's quite contentious because you either like writing or you don't. So loads of people had responded going, well, I know I should blog, but I really don't want to. And, oh, I love blogging, but then I never know where to post it. So again, it made people think and go, oh, do I like blogging or not? But again, it talked about you. Do you like blogging? Okay, so that was great. You had 24 comments underneath that. There was another one as well. The other one that I saw as I was scrolling on just simply said at the top, do you get confused? Well, that made people a bit intrigued because everyone gets confused at some point in time. So people had obviously clicked more, and it was all about, do you get confused? And again, it was related to marketing. Do you get confused about branding, logos, marketing, selling, and things like that? And there was a lot of engagement and a lot of comments underneath it, because a lot of people think marketing's simple, and it's really not. So again, it was really targeting their target audience about, do you get confused over marketing? I mean, the ultimate message was because we can help, but it got a lot of engagement. So ask questions. Encourage people to write on and underneath your posts and ask those questions, okay? Now, my fifth top tip then is imagery. So it's that image, it's that photo that's really gonna capture your audience's attention. Your image is probably the first thing that people see. So it's really, really important to capture people's attention. When people are scrolling, you've got to make them stop scrolling. And how do you do that? with a fantastic image. And I always recommend one image with no writing on it, because the thing about an image that has beautifully crafted writing and looks really well crafted is that it looks like you're about to be sold to. Sometimes those little snapshots are absolutely the best images. Okay, and we're sort of trialing that as well with a client of mine who's targeting the tourism sector, and we're trying different images. Is it one image? Is it a collage of images? And it's really, what we find at the moment is one image where it's got a face on it, and they're looking directly into the camera and they're engaging in something that is relevant to your target audience. So there is a great example of a post that I saw where it was a child with a llama, and she was hugging this llama, looking into the camera. It was obviously in a tourist area. And that made me stop, because I was like, hang on a minute, nobody's allowed out. We're not allowed out at the moment. What are people doing in these tourist areas? And it stopped. And it also made me think, I'd love to be able to take my kids out there at the moment. And it made me stop, and then it made me read what it was about. So again, if that post had said, when you're out of lockdown, make sure you come and visit us, then I would go, oh, it's a sales post. So I'd continue scrolling through. But actually it didn't. It was more of an engaging post that makes you stop. So again, think about your target audience. What is going to make them stop? Humor, emotion. Try and put some emotion into your images if you can. There's been some really emotional posts around at the moment with coronavirus and things like that. Now, I'm not saying you talk about the coronavirus at all. I think, it's time we start thinking about other things that we need to focus on, but really try and get that emotion. And sometimes you can get that emotion just by pulling a face on your picture or capturing a little moment. So I've seen some fantastic kids ones that have been going around the internet. Now, again, it depends what platform you're on. Children and animals, not so brilliant for LinkedIn, but perfect for Facebook and pretty good for Twitter as well, depending on your target audience. Okay. One of the great ones that one of my clients did, they sell forklift trucks, and they had these little mini forklift trucks with a little man walking along, and it was really, really well done. Okay, so again, think about those images that's going to resonate with your audience, and really capture their imagination with those images. So my 6th top tip then is educate. Again, if you've got content that offers top tips, that can educate, that can really try and show people what to do and how to do it. Share your knowledge. People are so wary sometimes about sharing their knowledge, or they take their knowledge for granted. They underestimate the sort of knowledge that they've got. So again, my 6th top tip is do educate people. Don't be worried about sharing your knowledge, thinking, oh my goodness, my competitors are going to jump on board. Don't, because actually your competitors are not your target market anyway. And actually, if you are genuinely, an expert in your field, as we all are, then people will remember you. They will start referring you to other people. You're helping people. If you're helping people, people will remember. So educate people and provide some top tips and things like that. You can provide downloadable content if you've got blogs or anything like that. Ebooks, people are writing ebooks. But even if you've not got that sort of content, simply a post with a tip. Did you know you could do this? Look, this is how you do this. A little video, for example, on how you do things like that. I think I saw a little video last week. It was about, did you know if you put some vinegar in a bag and put it over a tap with an elastic band on? And it was just like, wow, that's so simple. I didn't know that. Okay, so it can be the simplest of little tips that you have that you take for granted. Okay, so educate people. So my 7th top tip then is ask people for their opinions and advice. By asking that question, you're encouraging people to engage below and offer their opinions. I can guarantee people love offering their opinions about things. Sometimes it might be contentious, which will get you a lot of engagement. I spoke last a couple of weeks ago when I did my live and I spoke about post going viral, I spoke about a estate agent who'd shared a little topic about window tax and whether it was Georgian or Victorian times, and it was a bit contentious. So they'd reached 3 million people because people were going, no, it's Georgian times, no, it's Victorian times, no, it's this, and it was quite contentious. So loads of people commented below, and it got a massive reach. So again, ask people's opinions, particularly if it's not quite sure what the answer is. People love to share their opinions. Excuse me. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. So again, ask opinions. Also, another good idea is ask people for their advice. So if you're developing some content, ask your audience. Well, we're thinking about doing this. So, for example, when I was developing my online Facebook course, I was like, well, I'm thinking about doing an online Facebook course. What would you like to see included? Yeah. And I got loads of ideas of what people were struggling with. What do you most struggle with on social media? What's the hardest thing about living in isolation at the moment that you're finding? How are you finding homeschooling? So again, really think about asking opinion and advice. People love to share their opinions. People love to share their expertise, and people love to share their thoughts. So again, make the most of that and ask questions. So that was my 7th top tip. Okay, ask questions, get that engagement. So my 8th one is then entertain and humor people. Okay, so entertainment and humor. At the moment, we've got a massive increase of people on social media at the moment because everybody's at home, and people are just dying to be entertained. The amount of funny things that have been circulating on social media recently has been phenomenal. Again, people are at home, so if you have got a silly, cheesy joke, put it on there. Again, think about the platform, think about your audience. It's not always appropriate for every platform, but certainly for the likes of Facebook, Twitter, potentially, and LinkedIn, if it's business related, get some humor on there. Again, if you see content that's humorous, don't copy it. You're not allowed to copy it. You can share it, but you won't get much reach. It's better to curate your own. You can always give credit to the person who came up with that information, as long as you credit them. But there's huge amounts of humor out there. I love looking at Pinterest, for example. Pinterest is a great resource for humor, little memes and things like that. So do have a look, because potentially you can change them and create your own. But humor and entertainment does get a lot of engagement. Okay, so my final top tip then, my 9th top tip for today is competitions and contests. Now, this comes with a bit of a caveat because you've got to be very careful with these. I see hundreds of people doing contests and competitions, and they don't do it in the right way. What you need to think about when you're running competitions and contests is that you don't want to necessarily go viral, depending what your content, what you're selling, depending, what your business is. So, for example, if you are offering, so I run, for example, I train people how to play squash, for example. So if I ran a little competition going, like, share and comment to win £100 worth of Amazon vouchers. Now, I don't want that to go viral, actually, because there's no point people in Birmingham entering, and there's no point people, in Scotland entering, because actually I run coaching in Warrington, so they're never going to be my customers. Therefore, I need to be really specific. If I want to attract businesses, if I want to attract people that want to come to our squash club, I only want to attract local people. So therefore, and I only want to attract people who are interested in squash and might like to come and play. Okay. So I really have to think about, if I'm running a competition, it would be something like, right, okay, if you win some squash balls and some grips, or a signed, we ran a competition, if you want to win a signed racket by Nick Matthew, who's like a famous worldwide, famous world-class squash player, then comment below on your favorite squash memory. Okay. Now that is one, I'm targeting squash players. One, I'm offering a prize that will really only appeal to my target audience. And two, I'm getting them to comment below. I'm not getting them to like, share, and comment. Again, if you're running competitions and you go like, share, like, tag and share to win, you're likely to get your post pulled down, or it won't get a very high reach, because it is in breach of some of the terms and conditions, particularly on Facebook. And again, you need to check out Twitter as well. So again, contests that are very specifically crafted to your target audience, because you don't want the contest going viral if you only offer a local service. Yeah, different if you've got online products that appeal to the masses, but not if you only offer local services. So be very careful, but generally your contests, you want them to enter by commenting or sharing some information below in your feed. So those are my 9 top tips to create engaging content. And again, if you've got any ideas, please do share them. Now, next week, in the next week's live stream, I've got Michelle Ewan, who's hopefully joining us, if I can sort out the software, who's going to join us for a joint stream. And she's going to be sharing some top tips on how to use your social media to get into, link it to magazines and helping with PR, some really good PR tips as well. So fingers crossed, there'll be 2 of us on the live stream tomorrow, next Monday at 12:30. And in the meantime, if any of you need help with LinkedIn, I am running an online LinkedIn workshop next week. That will be for an hour each day on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9:30 for an hour each day. And I'm going to go through LinkedIn, and we're going to be working through your profiles, increasing your profile, how to attract the right target market, and how to engage with potential customers as well. And we'll be doing an hour each day, and you'll be given actions at the end of that. So again, that's starting on the 27th of April. That's next Monday. So again, if you are interested, just drop me a message. So those are my 9 top tips for this week. And thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you again next Monday at 12:30. Okay, thanks, guys. See you all later. Bye. Bye.